Hi guys, it's Aaliyah. Welcome back to my channel. Let me just make sure I am in frame. Actually, let me see if I can just move out just a tad bit. Okay, that looks good right there. Now I can sit back down. So, as you can see, I have finished a new project. This one, it was a little bit different because I didn't use an actual kit, but I used digital prints, if that makes sense. So what I did was, Artie Mays has these papers. I think they're called collage papers, I think. And they're just basically, well, you'll see when we get inside, but oh, we can see from the front cover because this is part of the collage. It's just basically, I don't remember how many papers came in the kit, but I use those for kind of like the base, and then obviously added in my own thing. So it was a little bit different. It was a little bit challenging because obviously then it doesn't come with ephemera. So I had to make my own ephemera, but I think it came out pretty good. And as you can see also, I used some of the fabric that I got at Walmart that I showed on one of my last Walmart haul videos. And I really like this. I actually, probably this weekend, I may go back and get some more because this was one of the patterns that was on clearance. So might as well get it while it's there. So as you can see, obviously the cover is covered in fabric. And then on the front, this is just a cutout from one of the pages. I have a little trim down there. And then on the top, I have a little line of those gold flowers. Okay. Oop. Oh, hopefully that's in frame. Okay. Oh, and then the closure is, I think this is the one that I got from Walmart. Let me just see. It was this one right here. So let's just open that. And this one, it's a different measurement. It's a different size, I should say. This actually measures, the cover is 5.5 by 8. So it's not your standard size traveler's notebook. It's just, I don't know, it's just different. So let's make sure I'm in frame. On the inside, I left the front cover blank. And this is just a piece of pattern paper, scrapbooking paper that I used, but I thought that it went really well, kind of like with everything. So this is one of the prints. And I printed all of the papers on that resume paper that I got. The watermarked one. I think it was called like the business paper. I can't remember, but it's the one that I got for my job. So it feels different than regular paper, which I really like. But see how it's like everything's sort of collaged together, but it makes a full sheet. So in the, I'm just going to call it a kit, even though it's technically not a kit, but it is kind of a kit. I remember actually there were 10 sheets, and 6 of them maybe were papers like this, and then 4 of them were like papers like this. There was like a red, yellow, I forget a couple of the colors. So I used this as the back pages, and then I used this as the front sides. But I love the collaging. And originally, actually, let me back up a little bit. The reason why I wanted to buy these papers was because I wanted to make envelopes. But then when I was printing them out, I really liked them. And so then I ended up turning it into a journal also. But I did make some envelopes for this journal as well. So you'll see those as we get in. So then all the different pockets and stuff, I also printed some of the pages on cardstock, and that's what I made a lot of the pockets with. So this is part of the kit. It's just printed on cardstock, and I turned it into a pocket. So in here, I have a tag, and all the tags are blank on the back, so you can do extra journaling on there, and then, you know, like tuck it back in. So here is one of the pieces of ephemera that I made. And what I did was all the papers that I printed on cardstock, once all the pockets were made, all the extra leftovers, that's what I used to make the different pieces of ephemera and everything. I don't know how that was. I think it was like that. And then this here, this is one of the ephemera pieces that I showed, I don't know, a couple videos back. But I have a couple of these throughout, different ones. So this is the one from the Boston, August 20th, 1879, I believe. So I put that in there. And the nice thing is, like, it's so cool on the front, but then look at the back. Look how much room you can write on. So this could be even like a whole journal entry if you're using it for like a diary or something. And then, you know, you can fold it back up and then pop it right back in the envelope, which is really cool. So that's that one. And then I have some lined paper. On here I put some, I sewed on some of the Sari silk. And so here's another one of the background pages. And then one of the collage pages. It's just so cool. Like everything, it's so like random, but it just really works together. Let me just stand up, make sure I am definitely in frame. Oh, I am. Okay. Okay, so this, here's another pocket that I made with part of the paper. I lined that with a little trim on the bottom. And then inside, another piece of ephemera that I made. And then one of the little, like a message papers. So it's blank on this side. And then, of course, you can write whatever you want on the front. And then here, this came from, I have it right here, the French book that I showed from my thrift store haul. So I really did take it apart. And the nice thing, though, about the size, I didn't have to cut it down. It fit perfectly. I don't think I cut it down. No, I think it just fit. Pretty sure. If I did cut it down, it might have just been like just slight. Actually, let me see. Nope, I did cut it down a little bit. Just a tad. I did. So I did cut it down a little, but the pages are nice because, as you can see, I could use the whole thing and put it in, and then I just cut a little off the top. So this is the table of contents. And then I have a little crochet doily there that I cut out from a bigger piece, and then I added the vintage button, and in the middle of the vintage button is some of the thread, but I thought the thread just went with the whole thing there. So I have that, and I love the little pictures too. And I'm glad it was able to face this way so you can actually see all the pictures. And of course, you know, you can write around here if you wanted to. So here's another piece. I just love it. It's so cool, this paper. And a background. So here's one of the envelopes I made. Just an envelope. And then inside, oh, and then I also backed it onto one of the background pages. Just an extra sheet for some journaling there. And of course, you know, you can use the envelope however you want. It doesn't have to stay in the journal. You can use it outside the journal, or you can, you know, put more things in here and still clip it inside. So you can do whatever you want. And then here's a little coffee dyed paper with some trim on the bottom as well that was sewn on. And let's see. There we go. Okay, and another little tuck spot that I made. And here I just added a little bit of this, I don't know what it is. It's some kind of fibers. I don't know what exactly it was made for, but my friend Lolly sent me a whole bunch that came out of an actual rug. That when the rug started to kind of like fall apart, sort of, she realized it was made up of all these different fibers. So I think that's the coolest thing in the world. Like all the fibers that came out of that rug is really, really cool. So that's what this is. And then a little vintage button in the middle. And then, so here's another piece of ephemera I made, which is a perfect journaling card. A little bit of guest check, and then a tag, and I have a piece of a doily on top. And again, blank on the back. You can write on the front, you can write on the back, and here you can write on the back. So lots of different places to journal, to put pictures, to doodle, whatever you'd like. Okay. And then here I sewed on just a little bit of trim on that side. And here's another beautiful, beautiful page. Another little pocket that I made, ran a little eyelet trim on the bottom. Here's a little bow, and then see, I used some of my little bling that I talked about using. You know, like I wanted to cut it down and everything, so there it is. And then in the pocket, here's a playing card. I don't believe this is vintage though. Actually, I'm almost 100% sure it's not vintage, but it's still, I love the picture. And then in a little card that I made. Okay, and another writing paper. One of those. Here I have one of my little friendship pins that I made. I just attached that there. And these are the newer ones, the ones where I do use the coilless pins. And look at I love the little pictures. I know I said that before, but I really do. I mean, look how cute it is. So cute. Hold on. Let's see that one. And then see that one. Really cute. Okay. Back in frame. Again, another pocket I made. Added a little bit of, this is like a big kind of, I don't know if, it's not really a doily. I don't know what to call it, but I cut out a little shape from it. And then inside, there's a little piece of ephemera that was made. Here is another one of the vintage receipts type things. And then if you watch my previous video, you saw how I did the stenciling with the new stencils I got from the Dollar Tree. And look, I mean, it is gorgeous looking. Let me turn it sideways just so you can see it. I love it. And I love it especially since it was only $1. Yeah, I definitely want to go back and see what other ones they have. Definitely worth it. Okay, so here's another size envelope. I actually have 3 size envelopes. I have this one that's a little bit smaller, and then a small one. But I have 2 of the big ones, 2 of the medium ones, but only 1 of the small one. And this has some journaling paper inside. And then it clips right back onto here. And one thing I noticed too, how some people, well, I shouldn't say that. I'm not going to categorize it, but there are, this is my personal opinion. Okay, so I'm not going to say people, my personal opinion. These pages here, I used to think, oh, you know, it's kind of a waste of space. I mean, you could put pictures on it and stuff like that, but a lot of times I would feel that if there is an actual print, you can't do much with it unless you use it as a background for attaching pictures or ephemera. However, I realized on something else I was doing, I have a pen that I write with, and I don't think I have it here. It's one of those felt tip pens, and it's black. Well, I have a black one, a red one, and a blue one, but that actually writes really well. A black pen, or any type of black pen really, it doesn't have to be like the felt tip one. That's one I like. It works really well on this. So if you ever have a journal and you have pages like this, and it's not so busy, I mean, not busy meaning like, not like something like this, but you can still write on them. So don't think you're losing any journaling space with these types of pages, because you absolutely can write on those. As well as, you know, these, of course. And here I made another little pocket. Here's a little piece of the doily that I cut apart. Vintage button. And then I have a little library card catalog card. A card from a card catalog. Yeah. And then a little piece of ephemera that I cut out from one of the pages. And this is actually from Elsie Bell's bookshelf. This is one of her postcard kits. And I just feel like the colors went really well with the kit. So I used it. Plus I love these. When I print these, I always print extra, cut them out, and kind of keep it in my little ephemera basket, and that way I can pull and use them excuse me, when need be, because they're just the coolest pictures. And then also we have another receipt, plenty of writing room on the back, fold it up, and nobody will ever know you wrote something back there. But yeah, I love her postcards. Some more little sewed ruffling there. And am I crooked? Hold on. I don't know. Hopefully that's not crooked. Here I've attached another little friendship pin on the bottom there. And we have a playing card and another little card that I cut out. Look at that picture. That is so cool. I love the illustrations in that book. They're just really cute. And here, I did talk about wanting to add more sticker type ephemera throughout. So I added these, and these came from Heather, and they're really cute because you can write a date or you can write something on there. So you don't have to only just leave it as a sticker decoration. You can actually write on it. And now here, one of my fun candy bags that I got from Bonnie Shop, Bonnie and Clive. They were, I showed them, actually here, hold on. I have one right here. See, these are what they are. And I just love them because I love the, you know, the crinkliness of it. But the size is nice because it does also fit on pages. And it's just super cool anyway. So I just did a little collaging over that. Some vintage music paper in the background. I ran a little bit of trim there. And I don't know where this piece came from. I want to say it's a Tim Holtz, but I'm not really positive if it is or not. But it went well with the collage, so I put it there. So inside we have another one of the card catalogs. Cards from the card catalog. And then this that I cut out from the paper. And then those just go right back in there. Here is the middle. Look how gorgeous this is. And here's the, see the front, I use this. I cut this part out, and there's the 3 butterflies. And I think actually that's what I did call the journal, 3 butterflies, because there's 1, 2, 3. See, the 3 butterflies right on the front. And here's a little glassine bag, and inside the bag we have a beautiful little Mona Lisa card. It's not vintage, but you know, love the page. I mean, not the page, the card. And then another one of the message takers. Here's another one of those. They're kind of like sticker labels. I'm not sure if they're what they're called, but to me, they looks like a label, and it's also a sticker, so it's a sticker label. And here is another size, or maybe we saw this size already. Yeah, we did, with some extra journaling paper on the inside. And then that just clips right back on, like that. And here is another little friendship pin. And what I did here, let me just hold it up a little closer. I did a little bit of a cluster, but the pin is actually attaching all the little pieces together, and then I glued it down. So I thought that was kind of cool. Oopsies. There we go. And then inside here, let's see what I have. This is actually a Tim Holtz card. This is one of the ones that I cut out from the paper. And here's one of, this is actually, I think, the one I made on camera in the video. It was a really short video because I just wanted to show the stencils, but this is the one I did. And I just love it because it's so cool looking. I really like stencils. I might actually look into getting another stencil. Besides, like, from the Dollar Tree, like an actual real stencil. Not that those are fake, but you know what I mean. Here's a little short page. Here we have inside another cutout that I made, a guest check, and then this one here. I also brought out some of my stamps to use. I only ended up using this one, I believe. But I brought out 3 that I want to start to use kind of regularly. I tried with stamps before and I didn't like the way I was doing it. I'm going to try again because I actually like the way this came out, but I think it's the color with the stencil on the bottom and the ribbon, and then I sewed on the top there. So maybe that's what it is. But I really want to incorporate in upcoming journals the stamps, the stickers, and the stencils. So the 3 S's, because one of my dear friends gave me a bunch of stamps and I look at them every day and want to use them, but don't use them. There is actually one that I do use and I've used before, and it's this one here, because this is nice because you can just stamp and it's like almost like a background stamp. But ones with actual pictures, I always get a little nervous because I don't always like the way it actually stamps. But this one, I liked it, and I haven't tried this one before, but I really do like that one. And of course, you know, you journal on the back. So I have to remember the 3 S's. Stamps, stickers, and stencils. So I'm not going to take this off. It's just another envelope, and it has some of the, I think the peach color journaling paper in it. And here, this one is a Tim Holtz journaling card. And this is something that I cut out. And then here, again, this little cluster down here. Actually, it's not a cluster. It's just one piece. But that's also something that came from Lolly. Thank you. Because it's so cute to like add little bits and pieces like this with the vintage buttons. I just love the way that looks. And then inside, another postcard from Elsie Bell's bookshelf. See, aren't these postcards just great? I love them. And look, it has a little stamp. Not this, not as technically a stamp, but you know, like that comes on the envelopes. I don't know, the date thing. I don't know how that was. Maybe like that. There we go. Moving on. So another little friendship pin up here. Another little bow with a little bling. And then inside, a little card that I made. Here is one of those vocabulary cards. And I think this might be German. Maybe. And then a little message paper. And then this, I had a little square left over, so I said I wanted, instead of making it a journaling card, I just wanted to turn it into a little pocket. So I made a tiny little pocket, and you can still write here and here. I have just a little bit of a piece of doily that I cut apart, added the bling, and then these are just tiny little cards that fit inside. So these are both from the Probe game. And then this is just a blank card to journal on, or, you know, do whatever you want in it. And those just go back down. Oops. Inside. Look at the little owls. How cute. Oh, and this page I also sewed around. I don't remember why I wanted to do that, but I sewed around that page. And then in this pocket, we have playing card with the dragonflies, a Tim Holtz card, and then one of the ones that I cut out. Oh, and here's a small envelope that I made. This little teeny tiny one. It's so cute. And then inside I have a guest check. So I tuck that one down in there. And then here is a little journaling card. I think this actually came from Christy Art Designs, I think. If I'm wrong, I do apologize, but I thought that's where it came from. And then a charades card. So those stick back down in there. And then the back. And the back also was blank too. So that is my latest journal, which didn't start out wanting, I didn't start out wanting to make it a journal. I wanted to make some envelopes, but this is what I came up with instead. Well, in addition to, but I really like the way it came out, and I'm really loving the the fabric a lot. So I am definitely this weekend going to get more because it's on clearance, and I don't know how long it will be there for, or if there's any more, if it gets sold out. So I definitely want to get maybe another yard or so, because it just works really well when you do vintage grungy type stuff, I think, personally. So I hope you liked my newest journal. It is available in my shop. I'll leave all the information below. Any questions or comments, definitely leave them below. I love to hear feedback. And, you know, I take everything with a grain of salt, and I love it. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.